You ever feel like our whole lives are eventually gonna end up like this? Just blasting through space on a sweeps-long journey to somewhere, or chasing after or running from some vague enemy that's sometimes a god-modded pet dog and sometimes your dad, without the faintest fucking idea of what's gonna happen when we get there? That's a little specific, but you know what I mean.
Hello, Dave.
Sup? Am I bugging you? Do you want me to leave you to it, or
Not particularly now that you're here, but shouldn't you be asleep?
shouldn't you?
I need less sleep than I used to. Less food, too, which is fortunate for the rest of you.
Oh, right. I always forget about the vampire thing because you're already an alien. If somebody tried to sit me down and get me to watch a movie about a vampire alien, I'd be like, come on, pick a genre. Except, I'd watch it anyway because, let's be honest, the only person who ever tried to get me to watch something like that would be Carcat. If he can get me to watch Serendipity, he can get me to watch anything, but you get what I'm saying.
Yes.
Rose even told me... Shit. Sorry.
It's alright to say her name.
I just don't want to remind you of that shit if I can avoid it.
You aren't reminding me of her, as I rarely think of anything else. I close my eyes and I see her. I keep them open and I see her. Well, I see space in the corner of my shoe right now, but her too. She's there in the glints of fluorescence shining off the shoe, and she's out there somewhere in the sea of stars. Which just reminds me of one of the nursery stories she'd reserved to read to young broods of grubs back then.
Oh, huh. I still kind of have a hard time picturing Rose reading to kids. Maybe a dick thing to say, but she doesn't seem like the type.
I understand. It's one thing to come into the responsibilities of adulthood yourself, and another to dwell on those who you were once close to struggling with similar pressures. Growing up, so to speak. It's strange.
Yeah, so what was the story?
Oh, it's a regular story about a young prince and the beloved flower he loved and lost.
Flower. Like a plant.
It's a fairy tale, Dave.
Right.
A singular wild rose he failed to cherish when he had her, and his journey of discovering what she meant to him all along, culminating in a new quest to find her and win her back. The story comments on the nature of friendship and, of course, in turn, love. How once they connect, there is no distance or circumstance that can separate them. How the worlds in each one's mind take on contours shaped by their memories of the other. Places and moments and orbiting passerby becoming more and more entangled in the context of their mutual affections. Such is with a garden calling to mind an engagement once declared there, or something to that fucking effect.
That seems kind of whack for a kid's story.
It's possible I am projecting slightly in this specific circumstance. It was just a metaphor, but in a way I feel as if it is the greater universe trying to tell me something. It may simply stem from my longing to see her again, and how much is indicative of something more sinister. She is a goddess of light, and the only of her kind we know is alive after all. Maybe she's wrested dominion of the entire concept and all its appearances within this frame of reference, or within my personal frame of reference at least, and made them her own in some strange way. So I can't help but see her when I see it at all, whether it's a star or a light bulb. They all just leave her burnt into my mind like the blazing imprint of an afterimage.
I mean, it sounds like you think it's because she's a god, like she's wielding some kind of cosmic power over you. But if it was really true love, or whatever, would you even know the difference?
I guess I wouldn't.
Would you want to, for that matter? Like, isn't feeling that strongly connected kind of how you'd want it to be anyway? I think it's how I'd want it to be, at least. Can I sit down?
Of course. It's not my observation deck.
Cool. Sorry, I know you say you got your badass monster powers, but Kanaya, you look tired as hell. Not that I'm trying to psych you or whatever, but you're waxing poetic in the dark, which I guess may be on brand, but still. Kinda worried about you, sis.
You don't have to call me that anymore. In fact, I wish you wouldn't. It really has never been accurate.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure Rose didn't serve you divorce papers before she left on her fucked up father-daughter roleplay, so you're still my sister. I mean, you could always decide to divorce her yourself, but I doubt you're gonna find any lawyers in space. Unless Terezi is lurking in the vents somewhere, and now that I bring that up, it's actually not out of the question, so I'm kind of gonna be thinking about that one for a while, but yeah, this whole situation blows.
You and Carcat didn't have to come with me. I know you have your own lives and your own matesbritship.
No offense, dude, but yeah, we did. I wasn't going to let the only family I have left fly off without me.
Roxy didn't have to come either.
Debatable. Also, I don't just mean Roxy. Did you not just hear my heartwarming insistence that I think of you as my sister? And yeah, Roxy is rad, but our relationship is pretty fucking convoluted if we're being totally honest, so... You're the only person I know who's still basically the same as when I met you. No, stay with me here. I know people grow and change and shit. Some to think you haven't improved or whatever since we met 10 years ago, but Rose is gone, and Roxy isn't gone, but he isn't the same as he was before. Maybe that's shitty of me to say, and I'm leaning into my own internal biases, but talking to him feels different. And Karkat is still the same big fucking tool he always has been, but our shit is definitely, different than it was before. But yeah, I can always still recognize.
I am quite easy to locate in the dark.
Yeah.
Thank you.
For what?
For reminding me why I'm here.
Cool.
Since we are sharing in this human emotion called friendship, what about you?
What about me what?
How are your feelings?
Oh, those. Yeah, they're pretty good. Not much to say on that front, except sometimes your best friend disappears, and your other best friend goes into a ghost coma, and your third best friend fucks off to space with your dad, the dude you've spent the last 7 years convincing yourself isn't some egomaniacal anime villain and who isn't actually lying in wait to completely decimate your life and your emotions and shit. Anyway, I forgot what my point was, but yeah, I'm fine. Though, what the fuck does that even mean anymore for any of us? Maybe it was naive to think that a bunch of 20-something trauma victims could run a society. Maybe this is better. At least this way we can't fuck it up worse. Cool how Earthsea existed for centuries, then we show up and manage to ruin society in 7 fucking years. Maybe Dirk actually did the smartest thing he could. Fucking left.
Perhaps. But he did leave arguably the 2 worst possible people in charge when he did.
Man, I guess, but who knows? Maybe Jane will turn out to be a great president. Maybe without Dirk's corrupting influence, Jake's ass will become a symbol of peace and interspecies harmony. At least everyone can agree on something. Shit. How does this always happen? Every serious conversation I have inevitably falls apart into riffing on a casual acquaintance's ass.
Not to suggest anything untoward, but you appear to be the unifying component in all of these scenarios.
Could be, but all that aside, I really do think we're better off out here. At least, I am.